Love, simplicity, humility, the triune need of man in his daily contact with God. All cannot behold that divine face, for no man hath seen God, but the brilliance of the dazzling light will warm us with its effulgence, and the glance of the beloved eyes, behind the veil, will rejuvenate the heart and mind of man in his search for the truth. For remember, my children, that nothing but the clarity of truth shall lighten the way to God. Search for it, long for it, then hold it clasped in hands of love and place it as a meet gift before the feet of the Eternal One, my brother ARHURA, Lord of the Amethyst solar plane, the seventh, known to you as King Arthur, will take the pencil in my place, to reveal to you the truths of the so-called Arthurian legends.
The Death of King Arthur, Part 4 of 7, The True Life of King Arthur. Much hath been written anent my passing, but much of it is in error. I will deal with this later. By now had I attained to 48 years, my queen had left me, and taken refuge in the nunnery of Almesbury. Lancelot had fled to his own domains but not pursued by a body of my knights and myself, as has been given. I refrained from pursuit, for methought I knew the weaknesses which love oft brings in its train. Galahad had, 3 years previous, been gathered to the arms of the Graal, and as he came, so he went. Upon a warm and perfume-laden wind did he go, and none with him save myself and Magran, who only survived him. By 3 months, she could not dwell among us without her Galahad. Gawain, Elfric, Piers and Ector were all slain in battle on the banks of the Usk. Hector, mine uncle, did die of a grievous sickness in his bed. Boreas and Peleus went to foreign parts to spread the truths of chivalry. Thus did my Benevere and I stand alone. One by one, for various reasons, did all the order become scattered after the fall of my queen. Think not that I blame her, she was far too dear to me for blame. It was necessary that this should happen for evolutionary reasons. It proved to men that an order, a community of peoples, cannot exist without trust and love, so it served its purpose. But mine heart ached in that purpose, for I saw well that adown the centuries would pass false tales. One great grief other than that, had I, Modreth, mine own kin did forsake me to serve others, and in the last hours of my life did we meet face to face in antagonism. Long and dire was the battle on the shores of the Severn, against the Saxons. Long hours did the smoke of slaughter besmirch the pure air of God, and at the last, with only Benevere near me, did Modreth and I cross sword. Surrender, sire, did the false voice cry. Never, as God be my help, I replied, and if you will it, then shall I pass back to him in confidence! And quote. The clang of our arms echoed in the silence of the dead. I did forbid Benevere to approach. Thus he stood near, with stricken face, obedient to the end to the great call of obedience of the order, and I did turn my head, in a lull, to smile encouragement to him, and in that moment did Modreth strike me through the helm, where his sword, broken in twain by the dragon on my helm, did leave a portion buried in my skull. I did fall, smitten to the death, and the traitor leapt away, to be lost in the mists. Then did my Benevere, weeping, lift me from the ground. Upon his back did he carry me, panting sore, for mine was a heavy weight, I being well beyond 6 feet in height. Whither, sire? Did he question. Carry me to Severn, and there procure a boat, and take me by the waterways to Avalon, my Benevere. This did he do, and ever on the journey did he halt to bathe my wound, from which he had drawn the broken blade, and had bound it with a kerchief of Guinevere's, the which I did always carry under my armor. And at length we came to Avalon, and there did the good monks tend me for 3 days, and then did I pass back to my God. Benevere remained there, and did join the brotherhood, as also Percival had done at an earlier day. The good abbot did, at my request, place my remains in the chapel of the Arimathean, upon the site of the Wattle Church, and there, 38 years later, did they bring my Guinevere, and lay her in mine arms. For my body had not tasted of decay, not until the desecration of Glaston, when it was permitted to avoid a further desecration. Footnote: the stone coffin lies exposed in the ruins of the abbey at Glastonbury. Split in two, the centre portion is missing. Thus did I, Arthur, resign my earth kingliness in the year 548 AD. Methinks that nevermore will England know chivalry as it was in Wessex, but the great order of the Graal, to be, will awaken again some of the precepts of Arthure. I did not live my lives in vain, if I have implanted in England one small vestige of the vision of God, of truth and love and purity, of deep reverence for women, and above all, of a kindly tolerance, sympathy and understanding for women who sin, in the worldly eye. Upon the shoulders of you all do I place Eskabara, rise, my knights, and in the great name of God and the Graal go forward on the pathway of truth. I, your king, salute you, in my own and my knights' names. May God bless you to eternity. Arthure, to be continued.